So this is Argon Co's presentation on why CIOs are drivers of business transformation. I'm really delighted to welcome some of my colleagues on stage here today. So I have He, who's one of our program managers, and an expert knowledge on business design, and Joe, one of our managing partners here in Argon Co Ireland. So today we're here to answer the question, why CIOs are drivers of business transformation. And what we want to do over the next 25 to 30 minutes is give you a little bit of insight as to what we do at Argon Co and why it's so important that CIOs are that driver of the business transformation programs. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Joe. And Joe, if you can bring us through a little bit more on Argon Co.
Great. Thank you. And it's lovely to be here with all these esteemed CIOs. And we've locked the doors so you can't escape. We were here a couple of years ago as a company called Pebble, and all our branding was blue. So I'm one of the founders of Pebble, Joe Hughes, along with Connor, who's here as well. Now, just very recently, we've become part of a global company. So we're the dot in Dublin, but we have offices now around the world and about 800 people in the team. But our thing before and after changing is about helping companies get through transformation and also optimizing the way they work. So we're not an IT company, but we're definitely a partner with CIOs, and that's why we love to be here and meet with CIOs. This is some of the types of companies. Basically, it's across lots of industries, and I checked Nicola, that was Carlsberg as well, that we worked with in the past. So first, I'd like to just to address the question that John put to us. When we talk about transformation, what do we mean? Okay, and this very simple diagram is going to help me. Time across the bottom, and business performance as in how effective and efficiently the business is running, going up. So let's imagine we're at the blue dot. The company's been improving over time, and if we keep going forward to be continuous improvement, small initiatives being asked, we'll get better and better. Okay, but then the executive team, the board, the market says we need to get somewhere else. We have a new North Star, and clearly by continuing on our current path, we're never going to get there. So first of all, what created this type of big change? Well, some of the examples of the scenarios are here. And it could be that, and like one of our clients who was very big in the UK but wanted to go to America. So just doing what they're doing is not going to work. Mergers and acquisitions, like for ourselves, the whole world changes when you do this. Digital, I'm going to jump to it. We've been talking about it all day. AI changes the perspective. We have to rethink everything we're working. And then within industries like electric cars, the complete market is disruptive. So doing what you do is no longer going to work. Another one, just call it like in pharma, and we work with quite a few pharma companies. As you launch new products, you might have a rare disease injection product, but then you go into tablets to pharmacies, and it's a completely different. So when this happens, we're like, oh my God, our current systems, ways of working, people just won't satisfy where we need to go. So that's the point where you have to do a transformation if you're going to survive, okay? And that's where you think, well, how do you do this? It's different, it's not what you normally do. And to get to the end then, what we say is if you do a transformation well structured, as he's going to tell you about, you'll get to a place then where your continuous improvement is accelerated after that because you've clearly designed your business. You can take advantage of the opportunities much better now. And that's the path to the new North Star. But then, who can get their heads around this and lead the change and the transformation, which is the other part of our question. Who could do all this? So we talked quite a bit that Tiago was mentioning. He goes around through the business, understands all the pain points across the business, and not just in each individual function. So it's a special person who also cares deeply that things are not tied down in silos. How did we integrate? How can we leverage best practices across the globe? There's only a certain few people in the company who think like this. And then, big thing, that they really understand the technology and the limitations of it. So like Amanda said, somebody has to control the narrative, because this is the chance that everybody could go shopping for everything. And as Mairead said, then you get your new future of legacy systems. So another question, and you're holding back to shout out the answer on this. Who could be so fantastic that they also get all the data and how we leverage it, as you mentioned again with AI, it's crop in, crop out. We need to have good data and know how to manage that. And then this person has to have the ownership as well for the interactions, the customers within and outside. As we come in, first thing we do, we log on the computer, customers interact through the systems, the internet. So this amazing, amazing person then has to be able to lead and guide the executive team to hit their North Star. And I see Noel Watts there. What kind of person could it be, Noel? Okay, so, oh my God, there's a room full of them here. The CIOs are very, very unique, and it is a very exciting career you've chosen. And really, for transformation, we didn't think this when we founded the company, that we'd be talking so much to CIOs, but the CIOs are the people that tend to lead transformation and that we love to partner with. So, John.
So I think we've definitely got the right audience here then in the room today, which is great. And I can see a lot of faces around thinking, well, actually, well, how do we get there? What do we need to know? And I think what's really, really special about this is we've got he on stage here today, who's one of our absolute experts in business design and transformation. So when CIOs are partnering with Argon Co, and when they're on that transformation journey, what do they need to get there?
Okay, so I'll take you through the journey. So first of all, I have to say, at this point, people may think, oh, all sounds fantastic. What do I need to do? How do I do it? So we have a methodology of how to deliver a successful transformation journey. And I can say I happen to be a very lucky person that I can say I find the job I like to do because it's structured, it's disciplined, it's tangible, and we have a methodology. So our transformation by design methodology has been developed and evolved through decades, and that is across industry with multiple clients, sectors, geographical locations as well. And at the start, I think like everybody else, we said, oh God, transformation must be so complex. But just think about it, it doesn't have to be. It's like building your dream home, right? So first of all, you have a vision and a scope. In your mind, you envision, where's my dream home gonna be like? It could be that serene countryside with a lakefront, beautiful villa. So likewise, we work with the leadership at the very beginning to link the strategy and your vision for the future, and also to make sure you have the future business capabilities to deliver that vision. Then the next part is about, now we know how our dream home gonna be, you will have architects, quantity surveyor coming in to say, this is how we're gonna build your house. Drawings, blueprints on the paper, is a 2-story house, beautiful floor-to-ceiling glasses, ventilation, you have a view for the lake or a view for the garden. So all those plumbing, flooring, electrical wirings, it's all coming together on that beautiful drawings. You know exactly how your future home gonna look like. So similarly for business, we have a business architect. We will work with the business, the leadership team to develop your blueprints for your future business as well. And that will make sure you will successfully deliver your vision and strategy. So as you can see, up to this stage, we have a sponsorship from the leadership team, executive. We also have the functional leadership's engagement and buy-in during the business design. So that means we're all aligned about our dream home. Very lastly, you will have partnership with contractors, specialists coming in to actually build your house, right? And you need the architects to be there to make sure they are implementing a beautiful window, have a lake view rather than your back garden view, to make sure your design is specifically implemented and adopted within your team. So in this phase, we would often work with your implementation partners, 3PL service providers, your own business team, to make sure your vision strategy is implemented and adopted. So that means you are living or moving in your dream home at that stage. So that's just analogy, just to make sure something, bear in mind, it is an exciting journey. It doesn't have to be scary and complex. So the framework we have is we provide a capability framework to ensure the organization, everything is connected. So actually, before I'm going to give you the answer, looking at this paragraph, do you think we should start from bottom up or top down? So hands up if we should start bottom up.
There's always one.
And there's a second one. Now, I think you probably were all in the previous session with Colin, but we start from top down. We've seen many organizations, they did start from bottom up, and they end up with, best of breed system, but often sitting unused on the bench. And siloed investment as well, and realize you will have a brilliant CRM system, but it doesn't really talk to the ERP and the other integrated ways of working or process. And then still inefficient, multiple system, multiple source of truth. And then like the CIO or the team are literally putting the heart and soul to do all this hard work and still have a business complaining this doesn't work for us. Very heartbroken, right? So our approach is really to start from top down, because your transformation goal is that North Star up the front. So we need to really understand where's your future business and strategy is, where you want to be in the next 3 and 5 years' time, and then work down to see the capabilities you need to deliver that strategy, down into your processes, activities, who is doing what, how the touch point between function and processes, and then how we will execute those operations and the transactional step with that technology enablement and help. So that's where our framework is really to make sure everything is connected, but a top-down approach. So this is one of the examples, because as I said, I love tangible outputs, I love structure, so I would love to share the tangible outputs you will get recommended. So this is the capability model. As we said, if you want to see where you're going to be in the future and link your business capabilities to make sure you have the capability to deliver you to the future, this is a capability model we normally align with the leadership to define and understand what company does. This is what we do in this company. Now, if I want to move forward in 5 years' time for that vision, we need to assess all your capabilities across holistic perspective, driven from your strategy, and look at, do we have the right processes, data, technologies, performance governance, and most importantly, people, roles, organization. So we assess your capabilities and company to see where is the gap to bring you from today to the future. And this is one of the examples we worked with our clients before. Very simple one-pager to give an overview for your company. As you can see, there's a gap area in red, and the improvement area, amber, and the strength area, which is what you do really well. Now, this heat map, it actually means measure against where you are today to the future. Doesn't have to be the entire organization, right? As you can see this example, this client does brand management innovation really well, manage talent HR, brilliant. So very self-sufficient, and can support them to deliver the vision in 3-5 years' time. But what they do struggle is the whole order to cash, procure to pay, and those integrated business planning elements. So then the business leadership decide, these are our focus area. By doing this better, transformative, we will achieve our ambition in the next 3 years' time. So that gives them a very focused area, scope, and a resource investment as well. So what does that mean after you know your priority area? So this is where we said, this is your drawing blueprints for your future. So just tangible outputs at the very end. This is what the business leadership get together and the SMEs to design the future. So this is how we're going to manage ourselves and bring ourselves to the future. So this phase is very, in my mind, very exciting and rewarding. Why? Because you have all your business leaders and the team together, like have them in a workshop, really think about the 3 years vision, what we're going to do. We're going to do this, lots of new ideas, lots of light bulb moment, collaboration as well between all sectors, geographical locations. And people often come out to say, well, this is like collecting pockets of gold into a treasure trove. So they all left this phase really engaging, energized, and see the value of it. So we do produce a tangible business assets to lead you to the future. Now, from the CIO or the IT perspective, this is a very explicit business requirement as well for you to even source your system vendors, implementation partners. Because of this are so clear on the business requirements, when you're sourcing your IT vendors, there's a little risk or less risk around hidden cost or scope creep, right? Because you can compare apples to apples as well, whether they can fulfill your requirements out of the box or have to be customized. If it's customized, what are the costs? So you can compare and select that right vendor and reduce your future rework and the costing as well. So I guess in summary, I said I'm lucky one to do what I do every day, but because we have a structure methodology and it's tangible and you're leaving the project with the team fulfilled and happy clients, I think it just brings joy. So I hope you may feel the same joy as me now.
Thank you, He. Actually, I wouldn't mind just grabbing that if that's okay. So I think while He said that business design is truly her favorite area, and I've been through a number of business designs with clients, and I must say it's a hugely energizing part to go through in terms of the phases. But for me personally, benefit realization, that last phase, when it all actually starts to come together, the business starts to take that blueprint that we talked about, leveraging it and using it within the business, and actually getting to that North Star that Joe talked about earlier on today. So in order to do that, it's very important that we don't just think about technology and processes, but we actually keep people at the heart of everything we do. So that means we need to go on a change journey. And that means it's really important that everyone comes on that change journey with us. To start off, we need to assess where people are now. Not everyone will be on the same page at this point. Some people will be visionaries, and I expect actually a lot of the people in this room here today will be visionaries. People who will be thinking about the next bit of technology. What can AI do for us? What can we do in different spaces that we haven't even thought about yet? So there's those visionaries, and they're often the people that will lead the change and be champions of the change. But it doesn't mean that everyone's on the same page. So we need to understand the current perceptions across the organization, the skills within the business, and the readiness for that change. Once we know that, we can acknowledge the emotional journey that people will go on through this change. We can recognize and address people's emotional needs at each stage, whether they're an early majority, a late majority, or actually someone who thinks this isn't going to work. So we can address all of those areas. And lastly, in order to bring them on that journey, with all different levels of the organization, we need to share an inspiring change story. So it can't just be, we need IT because it's going to work. It's got to work for us, otherwise we won't get there. We've got to talk about the benefits, the joy and the learning and experiences they'll go through by joining us on that change journey. So lastly, we are a global team. We're Ireland's leading specialists in business design and transformation. What makes us special is our depth and functional expertise, coupled with the breadth of specialist resources, from change managers to program managers, any business architecture area, whether it's functional experience, we have those teams. And we are the business design and transformation company. So what I'd like to do, because we have a few minutes, I've actually got a 5-minute warning coming at the back there that I wasn't aware of. We'd like to take a few questions from some of the team here today. So what we want to know really is just to understand, what does business design mean to you? And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those.